Aloha, my beautiful soul sisters and friends across the globe, and welcome to this incredibly powerful time. You can just give me all of your hands up if you're feeling the energy of this collective full moon activation that is happening tomorrow. I am blessed that it is happening on my birthday, and I wanted to create an event for the power of this, both for my own, what feels like rebirthing process, and for all of us on this planet going through birth of the soul, very deep level. So I'm just so glad that you are all here. And across the world, we have friends here visiting from all over. So I'm really glad you're here. Welcome, Lily. Welcome, Erica, Sabi. I think that's how you pronounce your name. I will invite everyone, if you want to turn your camera on, then you can join the party and just be visible with all of us. Welcome, Sabi. Glad you're here. Welcome, Lily. I have a introduction tonight where I want to share with you all who I am and my story and how I got to this place where I am today, to share this information with you and to open the door to some really powerful energetic activations that are happening in the stars with the planets. And so my story is going to be a really great lead in to what we may all be collectively facing on one way or another. So I'm going to share screen here. I just invite you all to get comfortable. I'm going to invite everyone. At some point here, I really want to introduce everyone and just kind of officially welcome everyone. But I just thought we would get started, get right into it, and get activated. And then we can tune into the group and see what other beautiful stories are arising. So my name is Lotus Dawn Goldpool, and I have been doing sidereal astrology since I was about 10 years old. Okay, 10 years old. Because my mom was a New Age clairvoyant, New Age psychic, if you would, and she was exposed to these really New Age styles of astrology. And so I grew up knowing that Western or tropical astrology is based on where the stars were and is no longer actually accurate to where the stars are now. And that I thought was radical enough. But as I'm going to share with you tonight, a couple other things shifted. And that is why I share True to the Stars astrology with the world, because it is so crazy accurate. Like, it literally, the last 2 years since I instituted these 2 changes, which I'm going to share with you tonight, I am bold enough and I am brave enough to claim 100% accuracy with these readings. If I have, here's the caveat, if I have the accurate birth time and location and date. And Lily Ma, well, we're gonna really have some fun over the next 5 days, I think. So we are in powerful times. Okay, we are in extremely powerful times, and this full moon coming up is activating and bringing up to the surface a very profound story or challenge in the collective. Now, what is that? What is that story? Well, at the new moon solar eclipse, give me both hands up if that was like maybe one of the most powerful global activations you've ever experienced in terms of the collective energy, the collective focus, that sense of like something opening, like a literal energetic portal, a new dimension becoming available for the earth. Yes, yes. Okay, so that story of tonight begins back there because we're approaching the full moon. And the full moon is the full birthing and the full expression of the new moon. So whatever intention or seed or energy that got planted at the new moon, incredible solar eclipse, is now being birthed through humanity at this full moon. And so if you're like, whoa, like I'm feeling some stuff, imagine that these are sort of like humanity's collective creations that we all kind of started at the new moon, sort of beginning to be born at the full moon. So that's like a lot of energy. You know, it's actually research and proven. So Lily, don't get any ideas here. Lily is carrying a beautiful baby here, but they've actually done research that when mamas are pregnant, there is a much higher likelihood that they will give birth at the full moon. Okay, so they did research, they did studies, and you know, categorically, women would more likely give birth at the full moon than any other time of the month because the moon is like the biggest tractor beam magnet on the planet, and it pulls and it draws. What does it pull and what does it draw? It draws the water of the body. It draws the water. So just like it influences the tides, it draws the water of our cells. And how does it draw the water of the cells? It draws it up. And so this is actually also happening in the plants, in the trees, in the orchards. All of the water in the trees that give us fruit are being drawn where? To the fruit and to the blossom. So that is why farmers always harvest at the full moon time. In the same way, we harvest our intentions and what we create at the full moon. So I just want to give you a moment here to pause and reflect on what was your energetic, vibrational seed or feel that you were in at the new moon, and just allow yourself to remember and to recollect where you were and the energetics that you were in, and just kind of reflect, because we've had 2 weeks now to kind of integrate that cycle. And so whatever you're feeling may have its core root back to that initial new moon energetic. And so things may still be processing, and the full moon is tomorrow, right? So things are building. The energy is building. There's a lot of momentum, kind of like when you hit a baseball, right? It's just like, whoosh, like we're in that field of the arc. We're hitting the peak of the arc, okay? So why do I bring this up? Because at the new moon time, what was happening with the stars was a really unique pattern related to our psychic intuitive gifts. The new moon was in Pisces. The sun was in Pisces. The moon was in Pisces. Mercury was in Pisces. Neptune, Venus were all in Pisces. And so was Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron. Now, in my many years of reading astrological charts, one of the key placements that will literally bring tears to a new client's eyes simply by bringing this idea up is Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron, the wounded healer, and we're going to go into this a lot this week. Chiron, the wounded healer, relates to that place within us that is the healer and is yet unhealed. And it relates back to a story in Greek mythology of Chiron, the teacher and healer, who was a centaur. He was a centaur, which is great. Chiron was a centaur. And he was so talented with his abilities that he healed almost anything and everything that came to him through medicine, through teaching, through whatever method he needed. He was a great healer. And yet he got shot in the heel by a poison arrow, and he couldn't heal this. And so he was half immortal, so he could not die, but he was in agony. He was just suffering, okay? And so Chiron relates to where we're suffering, maybe silently, maybe quietly. No one hears a sound. We're doing our life. We're helping others because we have the spirit of being the healer. If you're on my call, if you're here tonight, I know you have the spirit of a healer. I know you do because you got drawn here. And so what is the spirit of a healer? It's a being of light. The being of light is one in touch with source. That's what we are. You are just at one with that. And so Chiron, Chiron speaks to the healer in all of us because we all have some place within us that is hurting. Okay? I'm just going to be real bare and authentic about that. If we're alive on this planet, doing our best, working through the muck. We are dealing with some type of internal challenge. And so Chiron in an astrological chart is that placement specific to each one of us at the moment of our birth. That is our specific wound. That is like, oh my God. You could call it the Achilles heel, right? You could call it that place where it's like, oh my God, how do I heal this? And you may have spent thousands of dollars and hours, and you may have looked high and low and in between to finally find some effing relief from this specific challenge or pain. And that's what Chiron is. And so for Chiron to be literally almost exactly conjunct the moon and the sun and Mercury at the new moon eclipse, holy, talk about touching onto the global human psyche. Why do I say psyche? Because it came in the sign of Pisces. Chiron in Pisces. Sun and moon in Pisces. Chiron in Pisces. Pisces. What is Pisces? What is Pisces? Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It is the completion. It is the return back to the ocean. It is the return back to source, right? Pisces is not a drop of water. It is all the water. And so we have the new moon eclipse conjunct all the drops of water, the source energy, our connection to the divine, our connection to the sacred conduit of our own inner knowing, our connection to our intuition, our connection to the divine feminine. Okay, do you feel that? Do you feel the waves of that? And how deeply our earth, our culture, humanity has craved to heal the wound of our feminine intuitive self? Yeah. That is why I'm on this call tonight with you all, because I have been given the knowledge to know that this was happening, which has assisted me. I'm not going to like, it has helped me get through the last 2 weeks, probably better than anything else I could have known, is what was happening astrologically and why I was like, God, I feel these waves of emotion. I feel this intent. What is happening? Okay. And there's more to it, but I'm not going to overload your plate. I just wanted to give you the kind of the big picture of why I'm here with you all tonight. Okay. So now how does that relate to us, right? How does that relate to you and to me, right? This kind of big picture thing. Well, what is your relationship like with your intuitive self, with your psychic self? With the self that is not in words, the self that is expressed through feeling, that is expressed through being, that is that divine conduit of you, that self, okay? And so with that new moon activation of that self, now approaching the full moon completion of that initial first cycle of us working on this, how are you able to connect to this self? How is that relationship? Do you feel free? Do you feel free and clear to share what comes through you through that intuitive channel? Do you feel safe to express that divine, beautiful expression? And on a planetary level, beautiful, yes. Yes, and my guess would be after that eclipse, it is growing stronger. Yes, it is growing stronger. It's like, oh, I see myself. I know myself. I am here for something. Okay. So that's one chunk. Now we're going to get to the fun part. So once we have this connection to the divine self, and what if that's your calling, right? What if you're a guide or an intuitive coach or healer? What about money? What about money, honey? What about bringing home the abundance to feed the family and to pay the rent, and put a roof over our heads and support our bodies, our physical essence. How valued is the intuitive voice of the feminine in our culture? Is it valued at the level that it truly deserves? Hmm? Yeah. And so that brings me to why this call is happening. Okay. Which is Venus, the planet of money, the planet of value, the planet of the divine feminine, was exactly conjunct Chiron just a day ago. Exactly. Which means it will be conjunct at the full moon. Okay. And the destiny point is in Pisces for this entire year. Whoa, my friends, we are at a pivotal moment in time when we have the opportunity now to finally face the blocks around expressing our divine soul psychic abilities and to be valued and paid in equal measure to that divine expression. That is what the collective soul expression urge is asking for. It is time. It is time. It is like this collective upswelling of a desire in the collective. No more will we hide. No more will we put down our truth. No more will we bury what our gifts are. That is the astrological full picture of what we're in at this moment. Okay? So here's my story. I know we all have a story around this, I would imagine. Okay? The goal here is to unleash our spiritual voice aligned to infinite wealth. Okay? To bring our soul gifts forward and to be adequately valued and paid for them. And this week, the next 5 days, is all about us finally breaking free and through blocks or resistance to this reality. And we're going to utilize the astrological chart. We're also going to utilize intuition, channeling, psychic energy, energetics, things that maybe we haven't always allowed ourselves to share with the world that we do. But if you're on this call, you probably know what I'm talking about. And so yeah, that's right. It's your light that lights up the world, my friends. Each of you in this moment, so much energy getting on this call and feeling all of your souls. I mean, I feel all of you and I feel such pure heart and intention and just connection. Whether we're talking or not, I feel you and I feel what you are here for. You are here for so many beautiful things. We are here to create a beautiful world. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yep. Yeah, Pamela. Pamela feels it too. I know you all feel it. And I was so called to create this. It was literally out of my hands. Like it was just like a push, like a heart explosion of like, I have to bring this through for you all because it is time. Because it is time. So I've led so many classes now. I've had so many gatherings of souls, and this feels like a new level of being. And part of that is because I'm going to share with you tonight a story I've never shared with anyone. I've never actually been able to share this with the world. And I really want to thank you in advance for giving me the opportunity to share my story in hopes that will assist all of you in sharing your story and breaking through the barrier. There's a barrier. There has been a barrier, right? And some of us, we think we're through the barrier. And then what is that? Okay. So I have a short video here. I haven't met some of you. And so I wanted to share with you me out in the world breaking through my sound barrier, me out in the world breaking through and sharing my gifts so that it could help to begin to inspire all of you. So just sit back and relax. If you've seen it before, that's all good. Every time there's something that comes through, I can tell you after watching it hundreds of times. So just sit back and relax and enjoy this brief video for a moment.
circles, like this. Stretch your arms out by your friend, feeling that connection.
I saw her do the single most incredible thing I've ever seen done.
Open up your palm.
She did the most amazing blessing.
Put your hand on the back of your friend.
That was so appropriate for the world, and so empowering, and so appreciated. This woman empowers everything she touches.
She's found something inside of herself.
And I do believe if she was focused on you and wanted you to heal,
It will give you the opportunity to access places and spaces, locations and destinations that you've never been to before.
she's got power and knowledge and the ability to implement her knowledge. I want you to pay attention to her. It's something special.
The energy went through us all.
Lotus is the one you really want to connect with.
This makes me feel like so grounded, so calm and peaceful. Something inside of me, I feel change. I never felt that way before.
Oh my God, she actually resembles the beauty of the lotus itself.
You gave me a permission to connect with my soul.
How many of you have been touched by her presence at this event?
And I have a gift to share with you. So come, and I will be so excited to share all that I've learned so that I can hold your hand and bring you with me.
So that gift, my friend, is you. It was kind of a surprise after doing a lot of soul searching for a long time of what my gift on this earth was to share. And it was to be a mirror for all of you, to share the gift of you back to you, right? To assist you and your soul essence in returning always back to your true self essence. And so that is what tonight, that is what the next 5 days is about, is us returning back to who we are, our true limitless self that can create the infinite wealth we choose. We choose it through the gifts that we are here to give, and to utilize that astrological chart that's true to the stars as a map for identifying the core wound that may be interfering, as well as the billionaire and millionaire planet in our chart, right? So what is in the way of us manifesting our brilliance in terms of receiving value? And let's blast through that so we can co-create that spiritually aligned wealth, true soul self purpose, creating wealth on the planet, bringing forth the vision of humanity that we're here to seed and bring forth to flower. And that's what we're here for, truly, I feel. So I wanted to show you me at the peak moment of where I really started to break through and express my spiritual gifts. But they started really early. And this is my mom. And she's the one who kind of got it all started for me, because she is psychic and fairly clairvoyant, and she will wake up and say to me something and I'll go, oh my God, if she has that certain voice, I know that I need to listen up, because she just laid down some direct channeling from source. We went on a trip to my sister's house, which is going to play in here to the story a little bit, over last weekend. And on the way, we were driving up with her ex-husband. So he knew her back in the day when they were doing Kundalini yoga every day for 10 years, every day up at dawn doing that yoga. And he said, your mom is very intuitive. He's like, she would channel things more clearly than almost anyone I'd ever seen. And I went, oh, that's where this is coming from. Right. And so, you know, I haven't worked with some of you. And so one of the things I really want to share with you all is that I'm not just an astrologer. And this is something that I've been very kind of quiet about. And I had a client who's like, why don't you tell people how deeply intuitive and psychic you are? Why don't you tell people that when you get a reading from Lotus, you're not just getting a reading of the astrology, you're getting a soul reading, like a deep dive into your soul essence reading. And I went, huh? And I had to think about why. Yeah, why? So oppression. Yeah, you familiar with that feeling? Hands tied, can't move. Yeah. So this goes really deep back into the collective consciousness, right? Especially with Chiron in Pisces. How many lifetimes as souls have we faced oppression? In other words, I'm not going to use around using our spiritual gifts, right? So it's not just that we don't want to use our spiritual gifts, but there could be, if you're watching this, some type of fear, maybe even downright terror around actually coming out to the world and saying, I'm psychic, or I'm intuitive, or I read energy, or, I'm into Qigong or yoga, right? There could be an actual, like almost like a box energetic around your throat chakra, around other chakras from past life trauma. And that is one of the things I specialize in assisting people in clearing with the energy work I do and identifying through the astrological chart where this trauma was. What arena of your life did this trauma occur in? What part of your body is it affecting? Okay. And so my goal over the next 4 or 5 days here is to help all of us identify those things for each of us. Okay. And then also the balance point of what are your big strengths, and then to clear that which is in the way of you creating infinite wealth through your soul gifts. Okay. So I came into this world very joyful, happy, light, just being myself. I would dance around and eat dirt and sing in the garden, as you can see here. However, both of my parents lived in a certain state of oppression, right? They came from totally different religions. My dad was Christian. My mom was into yoga. He burned her astrology papers at one point. Very traumatizing for her because he was like, the devil, astrology is the devil. And so there was this constant combat growing up. Plus, my dad was an alcoholic and they were fighting all the time. And so I didn't have any stability of mom and dad to tell me, your gifts are special and perfect and beautiful. They accepted me fully. Both my mom and dad were like, you're beautiful. We love you. There was no oppression of my gifts from them, but they themselves were not able to hold it down and be like a role model for me. And so by the time I hit junior high school here on the left, I was so distressed, such a deep level, because I had come into the culture of society and nobody was like me. Nobody. Like my mom said, we went to a cakewalk at my elementary school in 3rd grade. And she said she looked around and she saw me running around like a little ball of light on the school grounds. And she said, no one else was like you. She's like, nobody else was like you. And she, was doing her best. She put me in public school. And so I was confused about who I was. I didn't have anyone telling me that my gifts were beautiful or special, that my uniqueness was valuable. In fact, everyone around me said I was weird. Little girls wouldn't hold my hand because I have like a million lines on my hands. They look like 1,000 lines, which I was to learn later means that I'm a very old soul. Okay. But little girls wouldn't hold my hand. And so I was so traumatized by our culture and by society around just being my own unique essence that I'm here to be. And so I went to college. I followed the plan. I got a BA in psychology. I did my best to fit in. I tried to be that square peg in the round hole, and it really effing hurt. Like, I just remember just being so disconnected from my soul essence at this time, just so disconnected. And so I went back to school after I got my degree. I thought, BA in psychology, I'll be great. You know, everything will be great. But so I went and I studied conversational hypnotherapy. I studied something called access consciousness, which is all about the levels of consciousness and the dimensions of being and energy medicine and healing. I learned theta healing, which is how to connect to the divine, to source, and to command healing from the level of source to come through my body and actually be able to shift and change the DNA of my clients. Oh my God, my mind was exploding. All the ways that I'd been shut down and thought I was weird and thought I was like, didn't fit in, I suddenly was finding myself. I was suddenly finding my way through. And so last weekend, when I went up to my sister's birthday party, I realized as I felt myself around my family, how much I'd been still holding back. I went, holy God, I have been hiding still. I thought I was authentically out sharing my work with astrology. I thought I was fully honest with everyone, sharing who I was. And then I had the client say, why don't you tell people you're psychic? Why don't you tell people you're intuitive? Why don't you share your gifts? And I went, oh my God, because I've been hiding because I didn't want to not fit in anymore. Because my siblings, they can't handle this stuff. Like if I bring up energy healing or even alternative medicine, the walls come down. Like I literally, like their energetic walls are down. Okay. And so why am I sharing all of this? Because this may be a place where you felt silenced. There may be a wound in you. There may be a wound in the collective where you too have felt like you could not share who you really were fully. I'm not just talking about like you're doing your best, you're really out there, but like fully able to get out there and step forward and share who you are. Okay. And so I finally, after really pushing through after high school and college, I broke free. And so this is what happened as I started to claim my true power and come out. I started a yoga class where we would get together in circles and we would command energy through the entire group to activate through circle yoga. I never had heard of such a thing, but I was doing circular yoga classes where we were energetically connecting to everyone in the class. And it was so powerful and it was so profound. And so I'm sharing this story with all of you because I think all of us need a chance to get this out right now with the collective destiny point conjunct Venus, which is women, which is femininity, which is being in our power as women to speak our truth and share our story. And how this is what is going to lead to our ability to create immense value and abundance and prosperity in our lives. Okay. So this is awesome. So after I've been coming out here and teaching all these classes, I started to notice that as I share my truth and as I'm brave enough to push through the sound barrier and actually get out here and say, yeah, I'm psychic, I'm intuitive, I share astrological insights, and I'm here to share them with you. The people who come to my classes have such amazing things today. So this is Christine. She was at one of my last 5-day challenges. And what I really love about this is that she said she lit a fire in me. So grateful and thankful. And maybe it won't be a fire. Maybe it will be a bubbling brook. Maybe it will be a tree. Maybe it will be a flower or a blossom. But the biggest wish or intention I have is that I'm able to inspire you to open to a new possibility within yourself and within your world around feeling finally safe enough and free enough to actually genuinely, intimately share with yourself, with the world, with whoever you choose, who you really are, without having to hold back, without being afraid, without caring what your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your uncle, or anyone else is going to say if they saw the replay. Right? I want you to feel authentically, beautifully, humanly open. And maybe you already are, and maybe you're already there. But the goal of this class is to open that portal between your throat and your sacral chakra, your expression, your creativity, because the sacral chakra relates to wealth. It's our creative engine. And the throat relates to us expressing it and creating as well. And so we want to open those portals. We want to open our abilities to flow, because as the divine feminine essence in physical form, we are literally here to bring that through. Not only for ourselves, but we are giving birth to a new earth, a new world through our beingness. And what a profound honor and gift that is. And so grateful to have such amazing love and support on the call tonight. I deeply feel you all, and I am humbled, and I'm very grateful. So here we are, getting back to a structure. I always laugh with my my partners. I am like the water and he is like pure structure. And so whenever I come to structure, I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's that masculine form. Okay. So we've shared my story. Now I would like to, before we get back into more lecture about, what is this true, the stars astrology? Why is it so accurate? What is the chart actually showing us? And what is happening right now? Right? That's going to kind of be our lead into today. And then tomorrow is going to be really exciting. So hang put at the end. I'll share with what we're going to do tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. This is really exciting stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and stop share now. And I just wanted to invite everyone to turn your cameras on if your cameras aren't off, so we can have like a meet and greet, and also be able to share anything that's arisen for you around this class, around the story I've just shared, around what you're wanting to create for yourself. But yeah, I invite everyone to turn your cameras on, jump on. And Pamela, why don't we start with you, because you're to my left. So that seems, we'll get a little clockwise motion going on here. And we're just going to introduce, say your name, where you're from, what kind of brought you here tonight. Now you're on the musical chairs. And so we can get to know each other and hear each other's stories, because the voice, right? That voice is so important to creation. And so it's so important for all of us to share. And if you're shy or you're not used to like public speaking, it's okay. I got you. You're welcome. You're supported. This is a safe space and a safe time. Yeah, go ahead, Pamela.
Hi, Lotus. I just really appreciate hearing the story that you shared. This is my second challenge. I'm fairly new to this 13-star astrology, but like I literally was starting to bubble up. There's just so much resonance with everything that you shared. I don't know exactly what the blocks are, but like even thinking about sharing with like in a public setting, or even just turning the camera on sometimes brings tremendous anxiety, really, for me,
Yeah.
I've done more one-on-one stuff, but which I love, but the idea of like starting a YouTube channel or like really coming out and sharing, major.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Super major. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Pamela. And that's why I'm here. I don't know quite how I ended up starting my own YouTube channel, because I was like you. I really didn't think I could do it. And then I burst through some kind of wall. I started with 2 people. I had 2 subscribers. And I remember like filming videos and being like, what am I doing? And then I just kind of kept going. And now I have 900 subscribers, and I've met some of you from YouTube, and I'm like, how did that happen? How did that? So I've been trying to reverse engineer it so that I can assist others to get through the wall, because it's like a wall. It's like you're on one side, and then where you want to be seems like it's on the other. And you're like, how the bleep do I get from here to there? And maybe that's not what you're called to do, right? Maybe YouTube channel is not what everyone's called to do, but whatever capacity of you breaking through the wall, of you aligning to what it's kind of just about soul fulfillment, isn't it? Like, it's just kind of about that feeling of, yeah, like when you wake up every day and you're like, like, I feel good. I feel inspired. I feel excited. Like today, I woke up and I knew I was gonna do this class with you all, and I knew I had a ton of work and I was like all this stuff, but I was so happy. Like at like a core level, my soul was like singing. And I was like, okay, right? That's our sign. That's our
Yes.
sign when it's right. So whatever that is for you, it could be building Lego sculptures. Like I really, the gamut of what you could be here to bring is so vast. I'm not going to even assume to know, but I want you, whatever that is, to be able to do it and get paid for it. That's really what this is about. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Whoever wants to share. Yeah.
Can I share one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, like, you talk about like intuition and things like when I hear you speak, like there's something that just comes through, like, I love you, Lotus. Like I like, you're just such a pure soul. I just really want to speak that.
Oh.
And there's just something very deeply beautiful that I just have to tell you,
You're
that,
gonna make me cry too.
yeah,
I think I needed to hear that, y'all, because going amongst my family last week was almost painful. It was painful. It was painful, and to feel how they just can't fully receive. But for the first time to know that I was gonna keep being who I am, or
yeah.
so thank you for seeing me. Thank you. And for receiving. It's after being around those that can't, it literally feels like the biggest gift to be in your presence and to be seen. And thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. All right. Bring it on in. Who else wants to share?
Anyone else?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Lily Ma. Go ahead and share. Where are you at? Oh, okay, gotta unmute. Yeah.
There you go. Hi, everyone. So I'm calling from Thailand right now, and I am just so excited because I got to make the time. It's 7 a.m. It started, so it's good because usually it's like in a weird time. I would have woken up too. So I'm currently living in Thailand. I'm originally from India, which is a really fun place. Lots of polarities going on there. So I met with Lotus. Oh, am I?
There you are. Yeah.
Am I muted again?
Nope,
Oh,
you're
okay.
good.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So I met with Lotus many months ago to get my chart done. And a lot of it resonated. A lot of it. And I thought to myself, like, is it resonating because it's coming from Lotus, or is the chart actually accurate? I never asked for I didn't ask for the chart. Intuitively, I just never asked for my chart. And I was like, she's such a beautiful woman. She has such good energy. I was like, maybe it's resonating because of her. It's not the actual chart. So I kind of left it behind. And then months later, I was like, what if my birth time is not correct? That's why it wasn't resonating, because I believe in the system. I believe in Lotus. I believe what she teaches. So I got muscle tested by Michael, and my birth time was completely different. It was actually 3 days off. So I'm here because I'm excited to find out what my actual birth chart says. And I believe in this astrology system that Lotus teaches. I believe in her. So I think the only thing that was off was actually my birth time. So I'm also in a transition time. I have a little soul growing inside of me. So I just really want to make sure that, I parent as well as I can, also at the same time having my own identity, because there's probably some moms in here, like things change when you become a mother. So that's why I'm here. I could go on and on, but I'll just keep it there for now.
I'm so glad you could join us, Lily Ma. And I can't tell you all how many times when a chart wasn't right or it wasn't accurate was because literally the birth time was wrong. And then we corrected it. And then it was like that happened with David. Okay. He'd given me the wrong time, your partner. And we did his reading and it just was good. It was good. It wasn't bad, but it was like, it just like wasn't that dialed in feeling that I'm used to. And so I was like, what's happening? And so Michael is my partner and he's a really amazing muscle test master and also energy healer. And sometimes we do collaborations, which I'll be sure to share with you all. But he's really good at muscle testing very exactly and very precisely. And so he tested Lily Ma's birthday, and I've been talking like, we need to put together a program for people with their charts and with having them tested their time accurately, because that would be something else, right? It could really change things for a lot of people. And so tonight or tomorrow, it may be tomorrow, but in the next couple of days, we're going to reveal Lily Ma's new chart, which is like so exciting. I have to say, I did take a little glance before class because I was like, I gotta know, I gotta see it, I gotta see it. So good, I feel good things. I was like, oh, it's so lined up. I was like, it's so perfect. It's just everything is so. There we go. We got like a train in the background. Yeah, all right, perfect lead in. All I was gonna say was that full moon, full birth, what are you all creating? Like Lily Ma is the epitome of this full moon energy, right? The pregnant belly, right? That fullness, that new life coming through. So it's an invitation, I think, for all of us, and so much love and light to that beautiful soul joining us. I think I can feel and hear and sense them, which is such a gift. And but just to really trust your own process and tune into what it is you're birthing. And now, do you say Sabi? Yeah. And that's majorly up right now. That's majorly like self-doubt. Like, am I really a real healer? Am I really channeling energy? Is this real? And I can't believe how much I doubt myself. And then I hear feedback from clients where they're like, oh my God, that was so 100% spot on. That was so accurate. That was so right. And so Sabi, like if you're receiving that confirmation from another person, I think that's really where it lives. Do you know what I mean? Like whether we have formal train, and this is where I get on a kick. Okay, Sabi, I get on a kick about having to be trained in any formal thing when we're all such old ancient souls. What do you mean? Okay, you weren't trained this lifetime. How many other lifetimes? If it's coming through you, how many other lifetimes have you been an intuitive guide for others? Have you read energy and worked with energy? I don't think this is our first rodeo, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think this is the first time we've done this work. And I don't think if you're on this planet alive that it's your first time for about anything, because this is PhD level boot camp training of soul growth right now that we're going through. So I'm so, so glad you're here. And actually having you here is sort of inspiring me about how much I want to work with intuitives and empaths more and around their psychic abilities, around really like nurturing you all and encouraging you all to use your gifts. Because I spent so much of my life suppressing them and like trying to hide them or trying to, like shut them off. And now after so many activations, it's hitting this place where I'm like, oh my God, the world actually needs what we're bringing. And I had a client tell me the world needs what you have to give. And I look at each of you and I go, each of you have a piece that the world needs. Okay, I'm not the whole puzzle. I'm just one piece. I am just one piece of this gigantic galactic tapestry, and we each are. And no piece is better or bigger than the other. They're different, different sizes, whatever, but they're all energy. And like each of you have something that is needed somewhere else. And it's like we fit together and create this beautiful image. But we need each of you, right? So I'm so clapping for you, Sabi. Like I'm really happy that you're saying yes. Yeah. At the astrology with Venus and Pisces, that was my exact thought when I saw Venus and Pisces, but water. Venus being money and currency and value and material and water. And I thought, oh, I instantly thought of psychic, intuitive, spiritual, energetic gifts. as currency. And of late, I've been able to trade my work for other work that is very valuable. And I'm like, oh, this is a form of currency. The work, the energy work I do is a form of currency, right? Just like you're saying. And I think that that's one reason why developing and saying yes to our spiritual gifts and then sharing them like you're beginning to is a new way of sharing our currency, of having currency, right? And having abundance and value, like what is abundance really, right? And so, you know, you go out and you pick all these flowers, and to me, that is like $1 million, right? Like that is like pure God source essence. And so my sense with Venus in Pisces is that spiritual essence is becoming more valuable in the collective field, especially with the destiny of humanity in Pisces this year, all of 2024. So our destiny to tap into our psychic abilities, our destiny to let go of the rigid structures, right? Because the opposite point to that, so with the destiny point, there's always the past life point, okay? And so the past life point, it refers to our past and what we're growing away from, while the destiny point is what we're growing towards, right? So past life point is in Earth. It's in Virgo, it's in structure, it's in critical energy, it's in that grounded routine, the 9 to 5 job. What is that? Whereas our destiny point is in water. It's in flow. It's like having fluidity, following our intuition, not being set by any rigid structures. And that's our destiny as a collective. And it's also where our deepest wound is in Chiron for pretty much this whole year. I've just been so excited all year knowing this. I was like, I really have to get this out more. Like every time I get it out, I'm like, okay, more people need to know this because it gives us a certain release. It gives us a certain affirmation of like, oh, that feeling of like, I kind of don't want to do the status quo anymore. Like I'm kind of done with that. Like I kind of want to open to more peace. I kind of want my life to be more flowing. I kind of want more ease. Right? That's that feminine spaciousness. So you're going to see businesses shift. You're going to see how people spend money shift. Like they're going to spend it on what? Yoga, retreat centers. They're going to spend it on meditation. They're going to spend it on tarot card readings. They're going to spend it on energy healing courses. Maybe astrology courses would be cool too. But anywhere and everywhere that people are learning something to intuitively grow or to rest or to rejuvenate. Hot springs, water, yeah. Anyone been seeing all this hydrogen water and like other types of water, and like everyone has this new type of water for us to drink that has amazing health benefits? That's that destiny point in water, the ocean. This is the feminine though, right? Because what is also water is the feminine energy. So someone even that I follow her channel said that the sun has changed from being a masculine sun to a feminine sun. And I went, wow, that's a big shift. Okay. So, and to me, masculine doesn't mean man and feminine doesn't mean woman. It just means yin and yang, right? Feminine essence and masculine essence, external doing versus internal receiving. So there's a huge focus on our internal space. Like you were saying, Sabi, it's like coming from within, like going within is very much what this focus is this year. Listening. Y'all know what the Chinese zodiac sign of the rabbit, which was what last year was. Think about the rabbit for a minute and how it has those big ears. And so it's like main core lesson is to listen. Well, rabbit relates to Pisces energy. Yeah. And so this year we're really being asked to listen more. But to what? Oh, ourselves, our higher self. Bunny ears. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? Anyone else want to share anything before we get into just kind of a brief overview of what this system is, why it's different, why it's unique, just to refresh if anyone has any questions or watching the replay and they've never heard of what True the Stars Astrology is. And then we're going to get into the beginning of all the training and stuff. So any comments or questions? Anyone want to share something before we jump in? The mic is open, as they say. Okay, we got maybe some chat going on.
I can share. I just can't
Hi,
put my
Erica.
video on because
Oh yeah, Erica, share
that
with us. Welcome.
this is just so relevant. Like I'm really seeing how all these alignments with the Chiron, how relevant it is. Because I've been seeing so just a lot more aware of the block my gifts and
Erica, I'm going to interrupt you, hon.
yeah.
It's cutting out really bad. Would you be willing to type your comment in the chat and then I can read it out loud to everyone? That way we can hear all your words clearly and get your message. And
Yeah, I could do that.
okay, and I think the first part you were sharing that it feels very relevant, it feels very true to what you're processing through. And I'm just so glad you're here. Erica is awesome. I met her recently. We did an amazing reading. And she was one of those clients who you scheduled right around the new moon eclipse time and had so many planets in Pisces that it just like blew my, I think your birthday was like right around then too. And so it's very powerful. And I've noticed that people who have a lot of points relevant to the events always schedule right around that time. It's like, how does this just like energy work so amazingly, right? Okay, so yeah, go ahead, Erica, type that out. So what we're going to do tonight, we're just going to kind of do a brief overview of what the sidereal astrology system is. I just like to repeat it because the more times I repeat it, the more times the deeper it's going to land for you. And I've noticed that when I share this information, you'll get it, but then it will be difficult to maybe share it with a friend. You're like, I kind of got what Lotus is saying. And it's so cool when we can share this with other people, right? It's so cool when we can actually explain why is this other system so awesome? And then we'll go into some other things. We have about an hour and then we're going to call it for the night. And I wanted to share with you all that we're actually doing this call during the time of the kidneys. Yeah, so I looked at the Chinese meridian chart for, what part of the body are we in? And it's the kidneys. And so I thought it would be really cool before we end tonight to do what is called collarbone breathing, just to kind of strengthen everyone's kidneys so that we can go through the week kind of with the intention of creating peace and ease around sharing our spiritual gifts and creating immense value that supports and sustains all of our being, right? Because I think that's the win. I think that's the win when we can be in alignment to our soul path, our soul purpose, and receiving the divine value that is concurrent, that is equal to the value we give. And I think that's what our souls are calling in with Venus. Venus in Pisces. Yes, Venus is still in Pisces and will be going into Aries soon. But it's at this sort of peak Piscean energy. Very water, very, very water. And it will be moving into fire very soon, which will be a whole nother conversation. So what we're kind of in is in this kind of like throwing off. So this is what's happening. We're in the throwing off of the wound, facing it so that we can launch as Venus goes into Aries, conjunct the sun and Venus together. We're going to have a Cassimi, a sun Cassimi Venus, which is when Venus is in the heart of the sun coming up in Aries, which is leadership. So as a divine feminine, whether you're a man or woman, your divine feminine essence is going to be getting like a real shot of espresso in terms of like, I feel inspired. I want to take action. I want to, I want to go out there and turn on that red light of action energy. Red is the color of action, right? It's like go, even though I don't know why the lights are red when it means it's just very confusing, I think. But yeah, so we'll just go ahead here. I'm going to share screen, and maybe when Erica comes through, we'll share her comment too. Let's see, where are we at in tonight's class? Okay, so we got through the story. We introduced each other. Okay. So what am I sharing with you all? Well, this is Sidereal Astrology, and this is from the New York Post. The New York Post. The sidereal system is based on the current position of the constellations, the stars, while the tropical system is based on where the stars were in 0 AD. That is when it was current to the stars, and it has changed. So happened that the Greek astronomer Ptolemy is the one who created this Western astrological chart system. And when he looked up at the stars on March 21st, 2000 years ago, the constellation he saw was Aries. That's what was there. That's what started the whole series of signs to go Aries, Taurus, Gemini, etc. Now, 2000 years later, if you were to look up at the sky on March 21st, you would see the constellation of Pisces. So it has moved. The constellations have moved slightly backward at the rate about 2 degrees every 72 years. And so the difference is about 24 degrees now between what Western astrology says and what we'll actually be able to see or perceive in the sky. Okay. And so that is what I grew up learning. That's what my mom taught me. So I knew this from like age 10 on. And one of the first astrology readings I gave was for a newborn baby. And so we went in and we talked with the parents, we got out the baby's birth chart, and we did the reading. And 12 years later, I'm still friends with the family, and they're like, that reading was so on point. It was so accurate to her. And so I thought that was it. I thought that's, that alone was big enough, right? But in January of 2022, I learned that there was more. I learned that each constellation is a whole different size, and it takes the sun a different amount of time to move through each one. And so Western astrology, or most astrology, even sidereal, uses a 30-day for each sign system. So each house, it takes 30 days for the sun to move through each sign. And it's the same, it's regimented. And that is simply not true. And so I thought, oh my God, I have to find software that can show me the accurate chart, right? Like how long, how big each constellation is and where it is in someone's chart. I have to know. And then the other shoe dropped, which is that there's a 13th sign known as Ophiuchus. And that 13th sign is so powerful. It is so impactful, and it's ancient. The Babylonians had it on their calendar until they cut it off. They knew about it. They cut it off of the zodiac. How could they do that? It's huge. It's one of the biggest constellations. It's literally right between Sagittarius and Ophiuchus. If you get a star map or Star Walk 2, you can literally see it. And it's this huge constellation. It's big. It's like, why would you cut that out? It's so big. How could you ignore that? And so that caused us to have 12 signs. And so once NASA released about 8 years ago that there was a 13th sign, people have ignored it. People have ignored it for a long time. But when you do add that 13th sign, you get the snake tamer. And the snake tamer is named after an ancient Greek healer named Ophiuchus or Asclepius. who wandered the land healing people. And there were temples built in his honor that are still standing to this day. He was a healer, and he walked the earth in his sandals, healing people. And he actually learned the mystery of how to bring people back from the dead. What? Yeah, so he was walking along, doing his thing, healing people. And at one point, he kicked a snake and accidentally killed it. Now, another snake came slithering up and gave the snake some herbs, and the snake came back to life. So Ophiuchus said, hey, man, like, how'd you do that? How'd you bring your buddy back to life? And he said, oh, here's this herbal recipe, and I'll give it to you. So he gave Ophiuchus the secret to eternal life. Now, Ophiuchus went around and he started bringing everyone back from the dead who had died, right? Everyone who was sick and died, he just gave them the herbs, and there they were. Now, the other gods didn't take kindly to this, because Pluto, the god of the underworld, was like, hey, man, nobody is dying anymore. No one's coming down to my beautiful kingdom of the dead. And so he went to his brother Zeus, the king of the gods, and he said, will you please throw a lightning bolt at Ophiuchus, kill him, so that I can resume the way things of the world are going? And so that's what happened. Ophiuchus was killed and placed into the sky as a constellation, which is Ophiuchus, the snake tamer constellation. And to this day, in the Hippocratic oath that doctors swear by, they mention the name Asclepius. They pray to Asclepius. They make a vow to Asclepius that they will serve under the same level of commitment that Asclepius did towards healing the sick. And that's why one of the symbols is this, right? Yes, the doctor symbol. Okay. And so when you add the 13th sign to the constellations, it also lines up to what the Mayans and the Native Americans follow, which is a 13-month, 13-moon calendar, where each month or moon has 28 days in it, which also lines up to the feminine menstrual cycle, which lines us all right back up to nature. And how convenient and how perfect that the turtle has literally 13 humps on its back, 28-day humps around it. And it all lines up to the cycles and seasons of nature. And so by including this 13th sign into our constellational chart reading, I feel that it intuitively, instinctively, biologically, physically aligns us back to a more natural rhythm, just like the earth. And some people say that Ophiuchus represents the number of people. If you add 13 to the zodiac, you get the same number of people that were at the Last Supper. So that would be Jesus, the 11 disciples, and Mary Magdalene. And Mary Magdalene was supposedly the counterpart to Jesus. Okay, and they, according to some stories I've heard, Jesus and Mary Magdalene were actually initiates at these sacred secret temples of Greece and Egypt, where they learned energetic tools for raising their energy through sexual transmutation and tantra to raise their frequency to an extremely high level, and that is what has allowed Jesus to ascend in his physical body to his spiritual. And such a powerful energy that is. Okay. Now I have this wonderful client, Heidi, and Heidi was so awesome. I started reading her chart and we found out that her destiny point was in Ophiuchus. And she literally just started crying as soon as she found out about the presence of Ophiuchus. Most people don't even know that it exists. And it was such a life-changing moment for Heidi that she was able to finally know that her destiny was to learn how to channel her energy and to bring healing to the world. And it just changed her life. It was such a powerful shift. And so I'm really grateful for this work and all that it brings to those that follow it and who are guided by it. Okay, so I'm going to take a pause here. I'm going to stop share and I'm going to read Erica's comment here. Thank you so much, Erica, for typing this out. I really want to honor your presence and really share your words. I think that's so important as women, as beings, that we have avenues to share ourselves with each other. It's so important. Okay, so Erica says, noticing Chiron and Pisces energies affecting the areas you're talking about, seeing highlighted where I have wounding and fear of sharing my gifts, right? In community, out in the open, writing has always been a passion and outlet for me to be able to articulate all I'm seeing, processing, and feeling. A sister came into my life to encourage me to develop an online platform to open channels of abundance, as she has done that. I felt so inspired to do that, so I started sharing more of my writings and received so much meaningful feedback. Even when being out and about in town and see friends, they would express how much they appreciated my writings and insights. Wow, that's so cool. The feedback has been encouraging, but there's still lots of emotional charge to sharing as much as I would like to. Lots of writings and inspirations for videos as well, but holding back from sharing as there are fears of being misunderstood. Yes. Yeah, that's so big, is that feeling. Like it's like you're about to do something. You're like poised to act. You're poised to get into motion. And then what's that? That stops us, right? What is that thing that stops us, right? That's why we're here, to ideally clear that on out. So be thinking about what it is you have in your heart you would like to be sharing. Like, what's an offering or gift or thing within you that's like, God, I really want to be sharing this thing. What is it? Like, maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's for your own self. Maybe it's not for anyone else, but maybe be thinking about something you'd really like to create or manifest with this full moon energies. Because we're going to do a lot of clearing over this next 5 days. And so what is it you would want to shift if you could shift is basically the question. Okay. And then she wanted to share a little bit more here. Having memories of negative imprints on my creative and intuitive expansion, as well as pursuing childhood healing from childhood friends who didn't understand my passion to pursue the mystical path as a teenager. Yeah. Yeah, totally. So there you are, you're going along, you're following your inner self, and it's guided towards maybe yoga or spiritual texts, or maybe it doesn't fit into the mold, and how difficult it is. I had that with my own friends, Erica, where they just didn't understand me. And so I would stop myself because I wanted to be accepted by them. And that just causes pain, right? That just like hurts our hearts, because acceptance is never as good as following our own soul, right? It just never gives as much payback as that like soul alignment does. And so there's always this sense of like frustration, rage, see, like silently screaming inside. Like, so yes, I hear you. I continue to pursue learning and expressing even after experiencing rejection, but I think it still has impacted my full expansion into sharing and continuing to develop my gifts at the rate that my heart longs to. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I go through that too, Erica, of like, gosh, there's more I want to do. There's more I want to give. I want to expand. We want to expand. Like we're designed to expand. We're expanding beings. And right now, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is conjunct Uranus, which is change and revolution and innovation and invention. So there, and it's in Aries. It's in the last fiery degrees of Aries. Literally tonight, it's in the last degrees of Aries before Jupiter tomorrow shifts into Earth, into Taurus. So we're in this like last fiery push of that Jupiter energy. You may feel it. You may feel it. Thank you for honoring everyone's voice and encouraging opportunity to share. Honoring everyone's voice and encouraging opportunity to share. I love that. I feel so seen by you. Thanks for understanding and reflecting back to me. Oh, after last weekend of being around the family who just couldn't, it's like, I know they love me. I know they love me, but it was like, just like this, like I could see it almost visually, like a box around their consciousness, like that they just like couldn't I didn't see through. And so I thought, And so the value of being seen was really impressed on my heart, right? We all need that, to be seen. Yeah, I love it, Erica. I do see you. I'm so glad you're here. That's beautiful. So, yeah, so the next 4 days, we are going to learn how to read a chart very fast, right? So if you're new to reading astrology charts, no problem. We're going to basically boil it down to simplicity so that, it's going to be really easy for anyone to kind of take the structure of what I'm sharing and be like, oh, and get it really fast. And then we're going to highlight especially Chiron, the billionaire planet Venus, and the millionaire planet Jupiter. And then whatever comes through looking at your charts, right? Whatever like little whisper or divine psychic guidance that source wants to come through will come through. So I'm going to share screen again. And if you want to, you can draw a picture with me to kind of get a vantage point of what are we looking at when we're looking at a chart. I didn't even know this for like 3 months. Until like 3 months ago. Like I knew how to read a chart, right? I did chart readings, but like I didn't really grasp what it represents when you're looking at a chart. So let's just dive into that. And then we're gonna maybe do a little clearing at the end and we'll call it a night. So if you want to take a screenshot, this is a really nice tool for the approximate dates of this, 13 sign astrological system. These are the old dates that most of society follow, right? And the new dates, right? Capricorn actually begins around, well, this is rough. I'm going to actually replace this tomorrow. So actually don't take a screenshot of that one. This is not accurate. I'll fix it tomorrow. So here we go. What are we looking at when we're looking at an astrological chart? Are you all familiar with Paramahansa Yogananda? He was this amazing spiritual teacher. This is Sri Yukteswar. Sri Yukteswar was Paramahansa Yogananda's teacher. And he was very into astrology. He wrote that a child is born on that day and at that hour when the celestial rays are in mathematical harmony with his or her individual karma. So we are literally looking at a snapshot of your identity, like crystallized in form of what your soul print is as a soul when you come in. That's what a chart is. And so even if you don't know how to read it or use it, you could literally just look at your chart and it's going to give you an energetic opening. And as a psychic intuitive being, you can just look at it and things will happen. Like you will feel things, energy will move. It's a thing. It's like a portal. I have to tell people, like, be responsible, be respectful. Don't just share your chart with anyone because it is a map of your soul essence at the moment of your birth. And so it shares a lot about who you are. So I'm very passionate about making sure that the people I train are ethical, have integrity, and that, use this with respect because it is truly a powerful tool. It's real. It's a real thing. Okay. So here we are, the moment of your birth. Let's imagine that you're standing on the earth now, but you're kind of looking back into the sky at the moment of your birth. Okay. Now, the ground that you'd be standing on actually represents a part of the chart that's very important. It represents the horizon line, or this line down through the middle of the chart. So that line down the middle is the earth. So this is everything above is what you can see up at the sky, right? While you're being born. If you could go back and kind of stand there and look up at the sky. Whereas everything underneath the ground, all the planets and signs in your astrological chart, they represent everything that was invisible at the moment of your birth. Yeah. So I want to invite you all to just draw a circle on your piece of paper. You can put like a circle in the center and you can say me. Right? That's good. And then on the far left, I want you to draw a little circle where the line hits the outside of the circle. Okay. And we are going to write something in there. All right. Ascendant, rising sign. Okay. There we go, right there. And this is sunrise. It is the beginning of the chart. It's the opening. So it is the sign on the eastern horizon at the moment of birth. Yeah. This is, I like to think of this as birth. Like imagine for a minute we're being born and there's a veil of consciousness that we come through to be on this planet. And that is the line we cross through, that ascendant. And it marks what we look like, how we appear to other people. I often call it like the frosting on the cake, right? That part of us that people can see, but that maybe it's not all of who we are, right? It's not our whole soul essence, right? It's just what's visible, what the sun brought to light energetically around who we are, okay? Now, if you go and come on down here, there's a second point, but I'm going too fast, so hold on a minute. So just, yeah, go ahead and write AS and a circle right here on this line as it touches the eastern horizon. So that's sunrise. Okay. So up above is everything that was above at the time of your birth. Everything underneath is everything that was below. Now, oh, there you go. Okay, and then on the other side, this is what is represented by sunset. So you can draw another circle right here where the right-hand side meets the circle. And this is called the DS, or the descendant, and it relates to sunset, western horizon, whereas this is eastern horizon. And this is about relationships, marriage, partnership, the law, legal matters, contracts. Whereas this is about our identity, individuality, who we are. So on the left side, I am, right? Who we are. And on the right side, we are, you and me, right? Mirror self. And so when we look in an astrology chart, the left side of the chart, if we were to draw a line down the center, and I'll write this in so it's clear. The left side represents individuality, self-purpose, and the right side represents other, relationships, relationship focus. So even if you've never, read an astrological chart before and you don't really know much about it, if you wanted to just quickly look at someone's chart and discern, are they more individually focused, self-focused, or are they more personality, like relationship focused? If they have a ton of planets on the left-hand side of the chart, they're self-focused. It's all about building up their own energy, power. This is where you see people who are that PhD student, they've got multiple PhDs, like they're just continually refocusing on themselves. Whereas if you come across someone who has all the planets on the right-hand side, they are relationship focused people, right? Now, if you were a life counselor for someone and they came to you and they were like, well, what's the person? Should they be a salesperson, or should they be a doctor? You would probably say someone on the left side might be better at becoming a doctor because they're going to be able to focus so deeply on their own path. Whereas the person with a lot of planets on the right, they might be better as like a therapist or a salesperson or someone who works with a lot of people. So is that helpful? Kind of give that left side, right side, what we're seeing there. Okay. Now, what if we wanted to divide the chart a different way? So we just divided it vertically. What if we divided it horizontally and just wanted to see what that meant? Okay, so if someone has all the planets in their chart above, so above horizon line, that means outer focused, big purpose, big outer purpose. That's going to be like your politicians and your leaders and rulers of the land, maybe even, famous people, big impact people. Okay. Now, if you had a ton of planets below, right? And most people tend to have kind of a mix of planets above and planets below, and it's a nice little mixture. But if you have a ton of planets that are below the horizon, that means internal focus, self, family, emotion, intuition, it's neighbors, it's things close to you, more internal. Okay. Great. Okay. So, any questions about this or comments, or anyone want to pipe in here? Okay. So we've just gone over, and I just wanted to invite you all to turn cameras on so we could just have a little discussion here just about what do we see when we're looking at a chart. And if that's helpful, and if you have any questions about what I just shared with you. I'm giving you lots of opportunities to talk because it helps to push through around gentle people. So it's easier in the future. So I'll just bring up the shared screen. We can look at it together. Okay. So here we have that first division line, that when we were born, the moment we were born, we're standing here, the ascendant line, directly opposite is relationships, right? And then above and below. Okay, so that's self and other. Now, there's something else really cool. And that's what we're going to go over tomorrow, which are called the 4 points of power. So I started you off with these 2 points of power, which are the ascendant and the descendant. Tomorrow, we're going to fill in the grid on all the 4 points of power and what that means when we're looking at a chart. Any questions, though, here while we're here? Just because there's a little bit of information and I want to make sure that everyone is clear on this. Yeah, so Erica asks, are you saying the recommended first thing to look at in a chart is the general placements of planets in the different quadrants of the chart? Yes. Now, if you're new to astrology, I would say it's the easiest thing to look for because astrology can feel complex if you try and grasp every little point. And it's like a table full of objects, right? It's like covered in objects and it can be a bit overwhelming. And so what I found to be really powerful is that when you're first coming to a chart, and I'm sharing this because we're going to be looking at your charts, and I want you all to be able to get a grasp on how to read your own charts as opposed to me just knowing everything. I want to open the door to your own abilities here because this is your chart. This is your energy body, and I want you to be able to read it for yourself whenever you want to, okay? So we start with the ascendant. That's the first point of power, the entrance point, the birth point. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to go over the IC and the MC, which are the other 2 points of power. And then the DS, which is relationships. Okay. And so when we're looking at a chart, everything that is above us, this is the yang energy. This is our external self. Okay. So everything above the horizon, that's yang energy. That's how we're here to give our purpose. The MC represents like our push, like our biggest purpose. I often call it the second sun sign. The second sun sign. It's like literally the highest, brightest point in the sky. It's the highest point. It's like the Christmas tree light. It's a star. It's the star on your Christmas tree. Now, below it, directly opposite is the IC, which is the roots of your Christmas tree. Okay, so this is the most internal, the most yin point of the entire chart. And this is the most external yang point of the chart. So between these 4 points, we have what I call the 4 points of power, which is a grid for taking any chart and quickly and easily discerning what 4 signs do you have in those 4 quadrants? What element are they? Are they fixed, mutable, or cardinal? What's their energetic composition? Are they strong leadership energies? Are they internal reflective yin energies? Are they grounded, earthy, sustaining energies? So what is the composition of your elemental nature by those 4 points of power? Without even looking at the sun sign, without even looking at the moon sign, those 4 points of power can tell you the structure of it's kind of like your energy grid, right? It's the structure of the energy grid. I don't really see many astrologers talking about this. I get really excited to share it because I think it makes the chart really manageable and really easy compared to not having any direction of like, what am I looking at here? We're stabilizing the grid. AS, IC, DC, MC. Those 4 points give you the access point to identity, emotion, ancestry, DNA, the basic underground of your chart, the hidden stuff. 4 relationships, DS, and I'm sorry, 3 relationships, DC, and 4 MC, the career, the purpose, your biggest, brightest way of shining. Okay, so that is what we're looking at when we look at a chart. So let's put that into action. We can look at today's chart. Oh my God, could be overwhelming. Well, let's look at those 4 points of power. Okay. So who wants to call out what they see on the AS, the IC, the DS, and the MC? What constellation, if you know it, is there? And let's just look at the grid. And this is for California. So where you're living, it could be a different sign in those placements because it changes by location. But what are those 4 elemental energies for the chart that started tonight at 5 p.m.? Does anyone want to share what they see? Or just attempt, make an attempt to share what you see. So what sign is on the AS? Does anyone know what sign that is? Yeah, go ahead, Sebi. No? Okay. Anyone else know what sign, what symbol that is?
Is it between Taurus and it's between Taurus and that's not Gemini, is it?
Okay. So you're really good. You're doing great. That's Aries and that's Taurus there.
Oh, so that's Pisces.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah. Yeah. So the AS is in Pisces, right? So the ascendant point, the entrance point into the energetic field of the chart right now is Pisces. Yeah. Anyone know what this symbol down here that the IC is? Anyone familiar with that symbol? I knew you, but maybe you just, yeah. So what do you think having Gemini and the deepest emotional placement of the chart could mean? It's an air sign, but it's in a water, it's like in a deep place.
That
Excellent, Sabi. That's excellent. Yeah, sometimes I see this chart and with Gemini there, and I would say about a person that they might not be the deepest person because Gemini is very superficial, right? It's much more like on the surface. And so if a person had Gemini on the IC, they might be someone who's just a little less deep, right? Like as opposed to someone who has Scorpio there, who would just be very deep. Right? They'd be deep upon deep. So we're looking at 2 things. One is the IC represents depth. Then we're looking at the sign or the element. And so depth plus air kind of could be like a balloon floating when it should be sinking, if that makes sense. Right? So it's going to be lighthearted. It's not going to be an energetic of like a lot of depth and emotion. It's going to be more about speech, like you were saying, and communication and intellect versus like deep emotion. So like in the tarot card, it might be something like, oh God, what would it be? It'll be the Hermit.
would it be the one sitting, would it be the king sitting on the water on his chair?
It would probably be a wand, like the King of Wands, something like that. So it's like air element. Yeah, more mental than emotional. Right. Okay. What about the DS? What about over here on the partnership area of the chart? Is anyone familiar with that constellation? Or that symbol for the constellation? Because it's not actually a constellation, it's a sign. It's between Leo and Libra for 500.
I mean, we all know what that is. What
Give you a hint. Starts with a V.
you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, Virgo. That's right. That's right, Erica. Yeah. So we've got the moon, and this is the south node, which is the past life point in the house of relationship. So that what do you think that might mean if we have Virgo, which is very analytical, very critical, very grounded, very earthy, practical, but we have the moon in Virgo. And it's in the relationship house. That could be, anyone want to take a guess at it? No, you can do it. Go ahead, Pamela. Give it a try. I can't hear you. Go ahead. Oh, unmute.
Yeah, what was the question again? I don't know why I'm having trouble hearing. I don't know if it's my phone or something.
Okay. So what I asked, and feel free to share if you want, is here we have, so when we read a chart, right, and we're just looking at the point, right, which is this DS point, we're looking at three things. We're looking at the point, right, the DS, which is relationship. We're looking at the sign, which is Virgo, and we're looking at the planets that are there. And so those three things are like the wheels of a clock, like the gears of a clock. And so or a Rubik's Cube. So we're putting the color of the sign, the color of the planet, and the color of the placement together to give us the pattern of what we're seeing. Okay. And so Virgo here, the sign, we would think about, okay, well, that's Earth. It's about practicality. You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it. It's not lost in the clouds, it's not lost at sea. Then we have the moon, though. And the moon is water and emotion. So there could be a little bit of challenge around expressing our emotion because it's all about practicality and it's very critical and it can be a little demanding and finicky. Virgo moon can be very finicky, like tummy aches, sensitivity, like your nervous system could be hypersensitive right now, just kind of feeling things more than you want to be feeling them. And it's exactly conjunct the South Node, which is the past life point. And so tonight is actually kind of an intense little pocket we're in right here. Because the moon is the past, and so is the past life point. They're both the past. Okay. And so emotionally, we may be deeply connecting to past life memories around work, around our bodies, around our health, around any lifetimes where we were healers, doctors, nurses, midwives, herbalists, and there could be very deep past life trauma. And it's the eve of the full moon. There could be past life trauma related to being women or mothers, healers or doctors. And that could be very physicalized, right? Like physical sensation, because Virgo is the physical body. So it's very probable that any body aches, especially being on the call, and I'm sorry to put you through the whole class before we do any clearing, but I can see everyone's bodies like, oh, this stuff is coming up. But we're going to do a clearing pretty soon here, but we had to get this piece. We had to get this piece about the moon. Yes, getting to the root of our pet peeves. Good one, Sebi. So I feel I just had serious deja vu when you said that because I was thinking about pet peeves today somehow. I feel like came into my consciousness. Okay, so Virgo could definitely be pet peeves. Virgo is very finicky. It's like it's sensitive, right? And so it could just be like something rubbing you the wrong way. Like you don't even quite know what it is. It's just like, what is that? And it's directly opposite Mercury retrograde. Oh my God. And Mercury retrograde, holy cow, is directly conjunct the destiny point. So Mercury retrograde is past stuff, things from our past around communication in Pisces could be psychic awareness around the past, but conjunct the destiny point are future. So things from the past around spiritual communication that are being brought up to the surface to be cleared with this full moon so that we can step into our learning, our future self around a more evolved and opened psychic beingness. Opposing moon, Mercury and moon up in polarity, Mercury communication, moon emotion. It might not be a super easy emotional communication night, right? There, it might like, because Mercury's trying to communicate, but it's spinning in its opposite relation to the Earth if we look up and look at it. And so we're trying to communicate, but the Mercury energy is not cooperating. The moon is deep in reflection about the past, right? So this is an excellent night to do some clearing because there's so much tension, and tension pulls and brings stuff up. And when when the energy is up on the surface, it's the easiest to clear. Okay. So this is excellent information as an intuitive healer, which is what I combine with the astrological chart reading so that we can pinpoint, well, what do we need to clear here as a collective? Now that we're in this group of us, what is the highest priority probably to clear? And I would imagine Mercury conjunct destiny point, communicating our spiritual gifts, opposing our comfort. Moon is comfort, safety, our comfort and safety around sharing our gifts spiritually and letting go of all that past trauma around having been healers, having been teachers, being hurt and killed and persecuted for that. It's just time to let that stuff go. Wait, it's like enough already, right? Enough. Okay. So I would like to facilitate. First of all, before I do that, anyone have any response to this? Is that landing? Is that making sense? Does that feel right? Yeah. Yeah, did you want to share something, Pamela?
Well, I was just having some intuition about like some of the things I've been like from just what you said. It kind of gave me a little bit of clarity about maybe why, even though I thought I had resolved a certain relationship with a woman where there was this kind of like almost like a psychic attack against my voice and my truth and my perspective, which is more spiritual, where she's more like practical and 3D related. And so it was like how it showed up in my life is it just really kept imprinting that like this doubt about myself. And it was, I mean, I was just having so much, I've been having kind of like anger at this person,
Right.
but really it's just really about claiming it for myself. So yeah, it's just,
yeah, I think it also relates back to what is this old pattern? What is the root of this old pattern? Where does it stem from? And why does it keep repeating? And then getting to the root of that to identify it and to clear it. So I would like to ask everyone, if you feel open to share, when I just shared this sort of download about the energetics of the planetary bodies, did you have any physical body reactions? And if so, where? Or are you having any physical tension? If so, where? Are you having any physical body pain? If so, where? You can share it in the chat or you can share it audio, but I would love to get a sense of where everyone's at with that. And if you would like to give a rating as well, like a number between 0 to 10 of how intense of a reaction you're having physically around what we're talking about. 10 being the highest, 0, not at all. And then if you want to share it in the chat or unmute and share, either way, just so we can get a a read on the group. Okay, so we have back of neck, shoulder tension. Yeah, totally. And here's a really interesting piece of information about that. So according to my trainings, the back of the neck is actually where all of our past life experiences are stored.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember being a little girl and starting to get past life memories, like where I would just spontaneously remember stuff. Yeah. And so you probably have as well. So pain in lower back, 4 out of 10, goosebumps. Okay. Pamela, what's your shoulder tension at between 0 to 10? It's so interesting how we hold tension in different areas of our body, right? We can be talking to someone, we're both having tension, but it's in like a totally different spot. And I think that's so interesting. Okay, Pamela's at a 7. Okay. Erica, what about you? Are you having body sensations around what we're talking about? If so, go ahead and share. And Sabi, please, if you're having any body sensations and where and what number of intensity you're at. Okay, so Pamela started having headache too. Yeah, yep. As we talk about it, put energy on it. Don't worry, we're gonna do some clearing, so you'll be okay. Yeah, headaches doesn't usually get that. The full moon also is increasing the radiation level on the planet, so it's very likely our gathering is more high energy, high octane energy than normal because there's just so many planetary bodies in action right now. Yeah. So Sabi, jaw pain on and off got intense before the eclipse. How is the jaw pain now? Are you noticing it? And what number is it at? Very slight. Okay, anywhere else in your body, talking. So if there is anywhere in your body, so now we're going to dive into this whole healer, energy healing, there it is, conversation around feeling feeling comfortable and safe. Oh my God, there it is. To share our spiritual gifts. Okay, so I'm going to just ask that question on a scale of 0 to 10. How comfortable and safe do you feel to share your spiritual gifts with the world? 0 to 10. 10 being the highest, 0 not at all. Please share in the chat or unmute and share what number you're at with that. And if you have any physical sensation when I ask that question. Physically safe and comfortable to share your spiritual gifts with the world on a scale of 0 to 10. 10, you feel super great about it. 0, is like nothing. Lily, we got a 6. Okay, awesome, Lily Ma. Okay, we got another 6. That's awesome. Got a 2. Okay, fantastic. Great. We should be able to do some good work here tonight. Okay. Sabi, how about you? What's your number? What's your number? 6. Yeah, I consciously feel safe, but my body steps in to slow me down with physical blocks. Yes. Yeah, totally. And isn't that the funniest thing where it's like, you're ready to do it. You're consciously fully in, and then, wow, what is that? Okay. So one of the ways that I facilitate healing is a technique that I've developed on my own. Actually, I had a yoga class and I had a lot of people who were in pain and not feeling good. And I was like, how can I most quickly get everyone to feel better? And so I found that rubbing our hands together is actually this really powerful technique to get the energy moving in the body. It actually relates, there's a point on the palm of the hands that relates to the center of the heart. Yeah. And to every other organ in the body. So when we rub our hands together, we're actually really getting the blood flowing. We're getting the energy flowing. We're getting everything moving. So if you're open to being facilitated, and want to join me in this process, you're welcome to. I highly encourage it. I always see people having big releases, lots of yawns, because right now that energy is built up to a crescendo. We were talking about it. It's friggin' loud. And the group is going to magnetize and magnify the clearing by like 10. So thank you to everyone in advance for that assistance. Okay. So I want you to just all take a nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. And I'm just going to call on all of our guides and our highest guardians of light to be here present with us, holding space in this safe container, and command a beautiful golden 24 karat gold protection around all of us, so only positive energy may enter and that no negative interference can come in. And we're just going to assist and ask everyone to just ground to the Mama Earth energy and just allow yourself to settle. And then as you're settling, I want you to tune back in to feeling safe to express your spiritual gifts with the world, feeling safe, and feel where in your body that is. Okay. Feel your number. What is your number now? Okay. Where in your body do you feel any constriction around sharing your gifts? Feeling safe to share your spiritual gifts. And oh, here's another one. Feeling safe to share your spiritual gifts and to be paid the value you deserve for sharing them. Okay, that's another number. I just added that one, and you may notice it's a little more tight. Solar plexus, okay? So now I want you to take a deep breath in and out, and we're going to start to rub our hands together. Here we go. Tuning in to your body. Okay, there's going to be a lot of yawns, so just let those yawns come out. That's it. Tuning into your body. Rub your hands together. Focus on rubbing your hands together, and then focus on your body. Okay, so really want to invite you to get out of the head now. I want to invite you to get out of the mind and into the heart space, into the body. Get into your feeling body. Get into the center of your heart. And we're going to tune into feeling safe to share our spiritual gifts with the world and receive divine value of equal value for that which we give. Oh yeah, feel that constriction. So I'm just going to make a command, a clearing, and make the command that anywhere and everywhere we made any oaths or vows or promises or fealties or communities or commitments or contracts or bindings or swearings to never receive value for our spiritual gifts, to never charge money for our spiritual gifts, to never accept payment for giving healing or spiritual gifts to others, anything and everything that brings up or lets down from this lifetime or any other. Will you please now destroy and uncreate all? Just say yes, good, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. Anywhere and everywhere there's any past life trauma and drama around sharing, feeling safe to share your spiritual gifts. Yep, feel that, feel that, feel that. Yeah, let the yawn out. Anything and everything that brings up or lets down, will you please now revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all, please. Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. By the power of God, it is commanded all that trauma, all that trauma, all that torture and pain embedded into the cells of your body. By the power of God, it is commanded that they be pulled and cleared on the deepest core of you, out of your heart space, out of your soul, out of the historical body of your being, and resolved and replaced on all levels. That's it. Let the yawn out. That's good. And replaced on all, yawn is good. Replaced on all levels with the Creator's truth and definition of pure, unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, peace, calm, happiness, love, joy, safety. Safety. I am safe. I am protected. I can be safe. I can be safe to share my spiritual gifts. That's it. I can be protected to share my spiritual gifts. And just look at all the resistance around that. Feel the resistance to feeling safe, sharing your spiritual gifts. Feel it. We're going to invite the super conscious. This is a really powerful technique. The super conscious to identify all the fear and resistance around sharing your gifts. name it, tag it. And now we're going to command a complete change history and everything as needed in the highest and best way. Levels 1, 2, and 3. Around feeling safe. Woo! Deep breath in and out. Let the yawn out. Let it out. It's going to be big. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out to share. You're divine. In the highest, the best order, in the highest and best way. Thank you, God. Ooh, it is done. It is done. Ooh, show us. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Then you shake out your hands. Ask for a complete unconditional love healing for all of the energy bodies present. We request the superconscious to heal the front of your chakras, the back of your chakras, to breathe in and out. You're going to feel expansion here and movement as that healing goes through. Woo! Around this issue. We're going to request the superconscious to repair all of your dantians around this issue, around feeling safe. Deep breath in and out. You're going to feel a lot of movement. It's a lot of movement coming through around your dantians to feel safe to share your spiritual gifts. And anything else that still is remaining around feeling safe to share your spiritual gifts. Anything still remaining, we ask for complete change history. And everything is needed. The highest and best way in the highest and best order now, please. Levels 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Then just take a deep breath in and out. You might want to move a little bit. There's a lot of energy sort of moving through in this sort of interesting flowing pattern. So just let that movement come through as you need. Movement in the neck and shake out the hands. Woo! Just clear out the energy field. There's a lot of energy moving. You might feel heat in your body. The DNA release. And we ask for a complete unconditional love healing through all the layers and levels of your body and being, through all directions of time and space. Looking at your timeline, we just ask for complete unconditional love healing and clearing around this issue. And we command a complete change history and everything is needed for all the karma stored around feeling safe to share your spiritual gifts, to do it in the highest and best way, in the highest and best order now for everyone. And to clear any resistance around the clearing of this karma. Deep breath in and out. Okay. And everyone just take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to have you tune into the energy of feeling safe to express and share your spiritual gifts. Oh, and I'm just doing a clearing now. Energetically, we're just going to clear anything and everything blocking you from energetically, any demonics, demonics, any negative energies or thought forms or third order guides or any negative energies around you blocking you from feeling truly safe, any karma or drama or pain, physical trauma, blocking you from feeling safe, cause, core, root, effect. We ask for a complete change history and everything is needed for all of this. Take a nice deep breath in. Woo, la 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 la, and a nice deep breath out. Woo, la 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 la. Woo, la 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 la, out of the headspace. Woo, kekialahi, hale, hana, ke ham, yan, yo, ke anna. Deep breath in. Woo, la 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 la. Deep breath in. And out, we ask for complete unconditional love, clearing and healing of your auric field, of all of your chakras and your meridians, and a rinsing and washing. There's this rinsing and washing, this beautiful ball of light showering above your head. showering your energy body with pure unconditional love and light, showering off any darkness, any mucky energy, anything you're releasing or clearing. It's just showering you, rinsing you off. It's an energy shower. It's very powerful. It's very clear. The kitty's helping. We've got kitty clearing as well going on here. Showering off, showering off, showering off. Pure unconditional love and light. And then I'm going to ask God, Creator Source, to please fill you all back up with the complete, pure, unconditional love, healing, safety, and protection. And ask the Creator of all that is to download unto you all the spiritual gifts that you need to feel completely safe in your body and at peace to express and share your spiritual gifts with the world. Just receive those spiritual gifts as well as the ability to know what to do with those spiritual gifts and how to use them, what they are. Take a deep breath in, out. Beautiful. And just sit and receive for a moment. I'm going to channel some light rays in from source for all of you. You may feel some energy moving. Source is just channeling this frequency for all of you. Adjusting you all to new timelines and new grids. Woo, repairing your grounding cords. Asking the superconscious to heal all of your meridian points around this and clear them. And commanding that this new energetic vibrational field that you're in now around feeling safe to share your gifts be applied to everything in your 3D universe. From your pocketbook to your friends, to your house, your home, your family, your relationships. And you're going to feel energy moving through all the layers of your 3D universe here. Things may shift and change to support this new higher frequency that you're in the highest and best way, in the highest and best order. And any fear or resistance coming up around this, we ask for a complete change history for on all levels in the highest and best way, in the highest and best orders on levels 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Just go ahead and choose that future self. Visualize that future self that is already feeling totally safe to share your gifts with the world. Just visualize that. Go to that future timeline where that future self is already feeling totally safe, totally at peace, totally in flow, protected to share your divine spiritual gifts with the world. And then just ask your superconscious to now please teach you the feeling and take you to where you're already doing it. It's already yours. You already have it. Feel that feeling of already having that sense of safety and peace and comfort around sharing your spiritual gifts. Yeah. It's already yours. You're already sitting in it. And then superconscious, will you please show us where there's any fear or resistance around having this future of being totally safe to share your beautiful spiritual gifts with the world. Okay. And now in the highest and best way, in the highest and best order, please do a complete change history. Levels 1, 2, and 3 in the highest and best way now for all of you. Deep breath in and out. Just see that fear and resistance just going into a ball of light and going farther and farther and farther and farther away. And just coming back into your body as it goes farther away, feeling that safety, and peace around sharing your spiritual gifts with the world, with yourself, with your loved ones, with your family. Just feel it anchor in. I'm just going to do a restructuring, reintegration, reactivation, allowing this new frequency and being to go through all the layers and levels and also echo on out through your 3D universe. Go ahead and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. I ask for complete restoration of grounding with the earth so that you all can come back into your bodies, feel reconnected to Mother Earth. Restoration of communion with the earth. Any blocks or resistance or fear this brings up or lets down from this or any other lifetime, superconscious, will you please identify it and tag it, and then allow it to go into a beautiful ball of white light. We ask for complete change history around this, levels 1, 2, and 3, in the highest and best way through the highest and best order. Just see all that old energy just leaving in that beautiful ball of light, all that old fear, resistance to just feeling safe and connected to Mother Earth. And that complete change of history, levels 1, 2, and 3, everything is needed. Just noticing yourself getting very peaceful, very calm, very grounded. We ask this new energetic field you're in to be applied to everything in your 3D universe so that as you move forwards in your life, you will just feel the greatest of ease in this new energetic frequency. Anything and everything in your 3D universe will now match where you're at now. As you go forwards. All your friendships, relationships, your bank account, your checkbook, your clients, your work, your house, your home. Good, and take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Fantastic. Just allow the integration. Breathe and be. Feel. And take a deep breath in and out. Maybe allow a little movement into the body. Just letting your body move and be in this new vibrational field. Tuning into feeling safe. Sharing your spiritual gifts with the world. And just seeing yourself doing it, being it. You already have it. You're already it. It's already yours. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to make anything happen. It's just you. It's just yours. Nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. 2 more times. Nice deep breath in, out through the mouth. Move it out, move it around. Notice more space. And then slowly coming back into your body, stretching wide, maybe a nice final yawn. Bringing your body back in, back on in. And reconnected, regrounded, fully present, feeling good. Woo, bringing that energy back on into the body. Reconnecting to the earth, moving it around, having some water. If you have some water nearby, just blessing that water. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you to all of our guides. Thank you to all of our guardians. Thank you to all of our teachers and mentors. Thank you to all of for everyone here. Thank you for all the souls present. Thank you, heart. Thank you, God. Feeling gratitude for something in your life. One thing. Saying something to say thank you to. Whatever it is. Thank you. Whatever it is. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Passion, compassion, gratitude. Take a deep breath in. I'm going to ask you now to tune into feeling safe to share your gifts, your spiritual gifts with the world. 10, easy. I got this. 0, I can't do it at all. In this new state, in this new way of being, what's your new number? You can write it, you can share it, it's all up to you. Coming back at your own speed here. You know, we're in a different state of consciousness, so good job. I should share some beautiful flower blessings for everyone. Got some wisteria, jasmine, and geraniums. And so I just bless you all with these flowers. We got 10s, Lily Ma and Pamela. Woo! 10, we got a deck of aces here, my goodness. That's what the belly dancers say, right? When they perform, they make this sound. They go la 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 la, and it's just this very joyful song of the spirit, right? Just love for the joy of the moment, which I'm celebrating with you both. Anyone want to share how you're feeling or an experience, or it's totally optional. It's totally up to you if you want to. Okay, so Pamela's saying felt like soul retrieval, bringing back all my psychic and intuitive healing gifts fully online. Whoa! That's what we're here for, my friends. Yeah. That's what we're here for. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever experienced a clearing on that magnitude before, so very powerful to facilitate, like at a larger capacity, that's right. Yeah, you're just more you, being you. How about your body aches? I know everyone said they had some kind of physical sensation when we started. Anyone have any body aches, or how are your bodies feeling? Everyone's like, I'm not even talking yet. Sabi says, feel completely relaxed, like very rested. Pamela says, feeling more safe, headache gone. Oh, this is so great. Yeah. Anyone want to unmute and share your experience? I know it's the whole speaking. Lily Ma, lighter and limber. Yeah. Wow, powerful. Well, I think we've done our work for tonight. And so tomorrow is going to be really powerful because we are going to open the charts. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into what we're looking at in the chart. And then we're going to go through each of your charts and share where this full moon is landing. And the full moon is literally 15 minutes prior to our class starting. It's going to be right at the peak of the full moon. So we're going to open up the portal of where is this full moon really impacting each of you. And that's going to be such a profound opportunity to kind of ignite and transform whatever needs to come up and be cleared. And we'll also go into the power of what Jupiter going into Taurus means, and just kind of get you more dialed into how great of a tool the chart is and how anyone can really use it. Right? Just keep making it clear, keep making it easier. Go ahead, Pamela, feel free to share. Yeah, love it. Yay. So happy. Oh, unmute. Pamela is just like, I'm going to just speak. My heart is going to talk. And I heard it. Just heard your heart. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, wow. I was just going to type it because, that was really powerful. I just kept saying yes. Because some point in the beginning, I couldn't quite hear, but I just said to myself, whatever she's saying, like I couldn't quite hear, but I was tuning in to that. I was just my body, soul, heart, energy field, multidimensional aspects, parallel lifetimes. Like I just was fully saying yes to the clearing and to the healing, to whatever was in the way to be removed with my full yes and trust that it's time and that I'm supported. And I really felt like this was really major. Like, and there's just like, there was a little bit of tear, but like now it's just like, I feel more joyful, you know?
And this will continue tonight as you sleep. And I want to really invite everyone, the moon is that magnet to let anything else that's ready to go up and out. Just let it be drawn up and out and just give it on up to the mama moon and just let it go. Just let it go. Use the moon to support you to let go. And so tomorrow you're going to wake up and be like, wow, I feel really light. I feel really bright. This will be really beautiful. So we're gonna do a full moon ceremony tomorrow and tap into the energetics, open your charts, do some clearing, and make more clear how easy it is to read these charts, really, for anyone. As you're starting to see, it's simply our intention and our belief we can do it. And then everything else is easy. So anyone else final shares? I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so glad you all came. Anyone else want to share before we close it on down for the night? You guys can get some food and some rest. I really recommend sweet and salty and water. The sweet is for the brain because you just cleared a ton of energy. The salt is to cleanse and the water is to hydrate. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm so glad you could all be here. Karen, Lily, Sabi, Pamela, Erica. I'm so happy you could join me for the first day of this challenge. We may have even more people tomorrow, so we'll see what this incredible opportunity brings through for everyone. And I'm just so grateful for each of you. I really do. I send so much love. And yeah, any final questions before we close it down for the night, or shares or anything like that?
I have one more.
Yeah, sure.
I just wanted to remind or reiterate just something that I constantly have to remember is that whatever I clear within me, I'm also offering to the collective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just about little me, it's also like I'm clearing it for forwards and backwards,
Yeah, one of my teachers said that when you clear one point of view in yourself, you clear 25,000 other people of that same point of view. At least, maybe more. So like 6 of us doing this clearing tonight is like a really big ripple. I see it. I see it in the collective. It's like this huge ripple through humans. So Thank you, Pamela, for that reminder. And I do really want to just say this thank you and this gratitude overflowing through me of thank you so much for being willing to be here tonight and to share your gifts and to share your space and to release this old pattern and to step into you being the empowered being of love and light, pure love and light that each and every one of us is. And I'm so humbly thankful and grateful for this moment. And may all beings on this earth be happy, be healthy, be free, and safe to share their spiritual gifts, their spiritual being with the earth. May everyone feel safe and free. Whoa, what a prayer. What a prayer. What a prayer. Holy cow, what a prayer. Thank you, God. Whoa, thank you, God. Woo, and may it be so. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Go with source, my beautiful friends. Be blessed by angels. May all the spiritual gifts you need come through for your divine beingness of you. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow at 5 p.m. California time. Y'all are beautiful. I'm grateful. Mwah, 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 mwah. Send you love. Talk to you soon. It's hard to leave, right? Mwah. Yes, love, love, love. See you soon. Bye.